Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm very excited to have you here in person. Last year we didn't get to do this. This little virus thing going around got in our way, and so I am so grateful to have all of you here. I'm very excited to introduce our faculty and our students to you all. And I'm going to switch up the order a little bit on our program. We're going to introduce the students before we introduce the faculty. But before I do that, I want to give you a little bit of information about who we are and what we're doing around here. As you all know, we are a new program. Our very first cohort got started in August of 2019. And this is Cohort 3. We are so happy to have our third cohort, which means we are at full capacity, 3 cohorts in progress at the same time. Our first cohort will graduate in May of 2022, and that's a big day for us. We have some other big days ahead of us, though. I know that everybody's really interested in our accreditation status. So we have achieved the second level of accreditation, which is called Pre-Accreditation. And our big visit from our accreditors is September 13th. We are excited to have our reviewers on site, and we'll get to show them all the amazing things that we're doing. And we hope to be notified of full initial accreditation in December of this year. So we are in that final phase, and we're excited to finish that. I wanted to tell you a little bit, too, about our program. It's nice to have family and friends and other special people around. Our students get to know our program quite well, but because you're not always with us, we want to take an opportunity to tell you about some of the special things that we have going on here. First of all, we have things that we call curricular threads, and they are concepts that we teach, and we make sure they are threaded throughout the entire program in just about every single class we have. These are concepts that we think are super important for occupational therapists to really know and understand and live by. So our curricular threads here are occupational performance, which is exactly what occupational therapists do. We help our clients perform the occupations that are important to them. We have critical thinking and professional reasoning. Because we have patients' lives in our hands, we have to think and reason and bring our knowledge to the forefront on a daily basis, making a lot of decisions in action. So we make sure that skill is strong. We also have servant leadership as a curricular thread. We truly believe that as a serving profession, we need to not only be serving our clients, but serving each other, serving our profession, and especially serving our community. We also think that leadership is extremely important, and so our students will have so many opportunities to develop their leadership skills as they are serving others through this program. Scholarship and evidence-based practice is a curricular thread for us. We think it's really important to be confident about sharing what we know and sharing what we've learned. Occupational therapists are just famous for being very creative and innovative and having these amazing ways of getting really exciting outcomes with their clients, and yet they tend to be very humble and don't share it. And while we're not saying, be boastful, but what we are saying is if you've got a great technique or something you've tried really works, then let's share it with other OTs so they can have this amazing opportunity to have good outcomes with their clients. So we really focus a lot on writing, a lot on presenting. We hope to have some students publish. So sharing what they've learned and sharing what they know is a part of our program. And then lastly, we have occupational justice and cultural responsiveness. And as occupational therapists, we believe that every single human being, no matter who you are, where you're from, or what your status is, that you have the right to participate in the occupations that are so very important to you. And as occupational therapy practitioners, we are trying to break down any barriers we can that stand between our clients and their preferred occupations. And we recognize that in doing so, we need to be culturally responsive. In our program, we don't talk so much about cultural competence because we understand that we're never going to learn everything that there is to know. But what we do want to make sure we have is an attitude of respect and of seeking knowledge and hoping to learn more about the cultures that we might encounter in our clinical practice. So that's a little bit about how our program is set up, but I want to share some really exciting things that have been happening over the last 2 years in our program. So as I mentioned before, our first cohort graduates in May. They are all out on their level 2 fieldwork experiences right now. And excitingly, we have had several students already published in peer-reviewed journals. These were manuscripts that they wrote in a writing class that our students all take in the 4th semester. I actually teach that class. We have 7 really high-quality research projects that were completed last year. They are under, most of them have been submitted for publication and are currently under review. Some have been submitted for presentation. One group has been accepted to be presented as a research panel at a national education conference in St. Louis in October. So we're very excited about that. One of the things that is interesting about occupational therapy is our profession began in mental health. In 1917, that's when our initial occupational therapy practitioners started working. And over the years, we have kind of fallen out of being fully engaged in mental health practice. We certainly do believe that mental health is important and we address it with all of our clients, but there aren't as many OTs working specifically in a full mental health practice setting anymore. We hired a mental health practitioner to be the professor for our mental health courses. Her name is Dr. Peggy Terhune. Unfortunately, she's not with us today. But she is the president and CEO of Monarch Incorporated, which is a company in North Carolina that provides mental health services across the lifespan and across a variety of settings. When she started teaching for us, she re-engaged her love for occupational therapy. She didn't have any occupational therapists working in her organization, nor was she still licensed as an OT when she started working with us. But she fell back in love with the profession so much that she became relicensed, and she has hired, I think it's 7 OTs, 7 occupational therapists in her practice across the state, and has plans to hire more. So we think it's very exciting to have her engagement here be part of renewing that practice area in our state. Our students are very service-oriented. We are very fortunate to be a part of a university that is also very service-oriented. Our president and our administration really believe in doing what we can to help our local community, and our program does the same. Our students work with other students at the university, whether they're other health science students or other undergraduate students, to work on service initiatives that really help the students here and as well as the underserved and underprivileged community that surrounds our campus. So we're very proud of some of those activities that they have completed. We also had a student from our very first cohort be accepted into the American Occupational Therapy Association and American Occupational Therapy Foundation Summer Institute for Research Scientists. So this is a really big deal. There were about 30 students from across the United States who had to apply and were accepted into this program, and one of our first cohort students completed that this summer. We're very proud of her. We've also had 2 Cohort 1 and 1 Cohort 2 student accepted into the Charlotte AHEC Scholars Program. So this is a 2-year program that is sponsored by AHEC, and their goal is to improve diversity and distribution of health professions across the state. We had a Cohort 1 student be elected as the very first ever student representative to the North Carolina Occupational Therapy Association's Executive Board. And so every year they call for applications for that. So we're hoping that we have another Wingate student represent on the board. And then our faculty are also very engaged in leadership and scholarship. Our faculty have, many of us hold roles on state association executive boards. We publish, we present, we try to be very active in demonstrating the skills that occupational therapists have and representing our program and our university proudly. So we have a lot of exciting plans for the future. Our first big plan is to develop an educational clinic that is student-led and faculty supervised so that we can serve others in our local community by receiving free occupational therapy services. So we have that on the docket for this spring to get launched. So we have an exciting road ahead of us. So let me tell you a little bit about Cohort 3, the class of 2024. You should be interested to know that we have 5 men in this cohort. Our profession is predominantly female. And so this is something that we have been trying in past years to have more men join our profession. So I laugh because now we've noticed that they move in a pack of 5. It's great. Yesterday in orientation, I noticed that the 5 of them were sitting together on the front row on the left side of the classroom. And I asked them if Cohort 2 told them they had to sit there, because Cohort 2 has 3 men, and they sit in those same exact seats. So I thought that was funny. So we were very excited to have 5 men and 29 women in our cohort. Their average cumulative GPA coming into this program is a 3.62. Their average prerequisite GPA is a 3.63. Their average age is 22.36. We have 23 students from in-state, 13 from out-of-state, and we have a total of 10 states represented in this particular cohort. The farthest has come from Illinois. So I want to introduce each student, and when I call your name, if you'll just stand up and wave to everybody. And these are in no particular order, there should have been some method to my madness, but there isn't. So we'll start with Maggie Bellamy. She graduated from Appalachian State University with a degree in athletic training. We have Callie Harlan, and I don't believe Callie is with us today. Callie graduated from Clemson University with a degree in biology. We have Jenna Patton. Jenna graduated from North Carolina State University with a degree in biology. Aisha Zagari graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in biology. Mariana Kirkpatrick graduated from Appalachian State University with a degree in child development. Logan Scherer graduated from East Tennessee State University with a degree in clinical psychology. Nisha Agarwal graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in exercise science. Chase Haywood graduated from Wingate University with a degree in exercise science. Megan Merritt graduated from the College of Charleston with a degree in exercise science. Marie Pasco graduated from UNC Wilmington with a degree in exercise science. Now I see how these are organized. They're by major. Jenna Schroeder graduated from the University of South Carolina with a degree in exercise science. Kelsey Tunstall graduated from Campbell University with a degree in exercise science. Dawson Wright graduated from Wingate University with a degree in exercise science. Madison Tarleton graduated from Limestone College with a degree in health science and biology. Kristen Morosi graduated from Wake Forest University with a degree in health science and psychology. Sheridan Cleve graduated from Ohio State University with a degree in human development. Sarah Ann Hart graduated from UNC Chapel Hill with a degree in human development. Savannah Jones graduated from Virginia Tech University with a degree in human development. Jillian Fanny graduated from Longwood University with a degree in kinesiology. Alicia Hauser graduated from Pennsylvania State University with a degree in kinesiology. Claire Justice graduated from Hanover College with a degree in kinesiology and psychology. Riley Hanline graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in psychology. Savannah Perini graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in psychology. Daisy Williams graduated from Clemson University with a degree in psychology. Jennifer Garbarini graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in psychology and sociology. Grant Baer graduated from Appalachian State University with a degree in public health. Amy Brewer graduated from Brigham Young University with a degree in recreational therapy. Catalina Carr graduated from Clemson University with a degree in rec therapy. Taylor Crum graduated from the University of Tennessee with a degree in rec therapy. Gloria Monita graduated from East Carolina University with a degree in rec therapy. Alexis Abbott graduated from UNC Greensboro with a degree in rec therapy. Angel Thomas graduated from Western Carolina University with a degree in recreational therapy. Caitlin Bowden graduated from Auburn University with a degree in rehab science. Jane Donahue graduated from Pennsylvania State University with a degree in rehab science. Gabby Palazzo graduated from Auburn University with a degree in rehabilitation and disability. And Ashton Palmatier graduated from UNC Wilmington with a degree in special education. I welcome Cohort 3, the class of 2024. So, sorry about that. I don't know what year I'm in or what year you guys are graduating, obviously. So now I would like to introduce our faculty. Faculty, if you guys would like to come up here. I'm going to start with our professor that is not here today, and I will read their professional bios for you. So while they're getting settled, this is Dr. Peggy Terhune. She is our mental health specialist. Dr. Peggy Terhune earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Therapy from Indiana University, an MBA from Rochester Institute of Technology, and a PhD in Curriculum and Teaching from UNC Greensboro with a concentration in culture studies focused on disability and race. In her 47 years of experience, she has worked in mental health, general medicine and surgery, pediatrics in a birth to 3 program, adult programs for people with intellectual disabilities, home health, long-term care, school-based programs, and private practice. Her wide variety of clinical practice combined with her business degree led her to the position of President and CEO of Monarch for the past 25 years. She has over 20 years of teaching experience, having taught as an adjunct for Rochester Institute of Technology, Strayer University, Pfeiffer University, and Wingate University. Dr. Terhune's favorite occupations include spending time with her husband, 7 grown children, and 10 grandchildren, dogs and cats, traveling, exercising, reading, and doing needlepoint. Dr. Terhune and her husband are also foster parents and have fostered over 100 children in the past 20 years. So we're sad that she couldn't be here today, but Dr. Terhune is a fabulous part of our program. Next, if you'll just step out, Dr. Stacy Kaplan. Dr. Kaplan is the academic fieldwork coordinator and assistant professor for the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program here at Wingate. She has over 30 years of clinical experience in pediatric private practice that has expanded her education expertise toward nonprofit management, organizational leadership, and program development. Dr. Kaplan earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Therapy from Louisiana State University Medical Center and a post-professional Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree with a concentration in Administration and Practice Management from Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions in Provo, Utah. Over the course of her career, Dr. Kaplan co-founded one of the largest and most reputable nonprofit pediatric practices in Louisiana, founded and directed a long-standing summer day camp program for children with special needs and their neurotypical peers, and has led numerous multidisciplinary teams in both private and hospital-based settings. She has earned several pediatric certifications, including Neurodevelopmental Treatment Pediatrics, certification in the Administration of Sensory Integration and Practice Test, Newborn Individualized Developmental Care, and Assessment Program Certification, Infant Behavior Assessment and Intervention Program Certification, and certification in the Neonatal Oral Motor Assessment Scale. Her practice experience spans NICU, PICU, early intervention, hospital, home-based, school-based, and center-based settings. Dr. Kaplan's advanced training and professional interests reflect her passion surrounding infant and child development and working with families caring for children with medically complex practice strategies to developmental interventions with emphasis on caregiver participation and education that promote healthy development and parent-child relationships. Her favorite work includes neonatal developmental care and the treatment of infant feeding disorders. She currently serves on the NCOTA board as co-chair of the Education and Research Special Interest Section. Outside of her personal roles, Dr. Kaplan's favorite occupations include hiking, camping, exploring North Carolina wineries, running, reading, and gathering with family and friends. Thank you, Dr. Kaplan. Dr. Reethi Douglas. Dr. Reethi Douglas earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Therapy from the University of Texas Medical Branch and her post-professional Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree with a specialization in hand therapy from Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions. Dr. Douglas is the doctoral capstone coordinator and assistant professor for the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program here at Wingate. During her 20-year career, she has always loved working with children. She has worked in a variety of pediatric areas, including outpatient, inpatient, home health, aquatics, wound clinics, burn clinics, hand clinics, sports medicine clinics, and special needs camps. She has more than 15 years of experience in pediatric hand therapy and has specialized in pediatric sports medicine for the past 6 years. Dr. Douglas established and developed the pediatric hand therapy program at Dell Children's Medical Center in Austin, Texas. She was the founding occupational therapist that developed the Pediatric Occupational Therapy Sports Medicine Program for Scottish Rite for Children Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center in Frisco, Texas. Dr. Douglas has taught continuing education courses in pediatric splinting, pediatric casting, and rehabilitation of pediatric athletes. She has recently published a book chapter called Fractures of the Pediatric Elbow and Shoulder in a book entitled Pediatric Hand Therapy. Dr. Douglas has been invited to speak at national and state conferences in her areas of expertise, including pediatric sports medicine and pediatric hand therapy. Dr. Douglas moved from Texas 2 years ago, where she was an adjunct professor at Texas Women's University Occupational Therapy Master's Program. She has served on the North Carolina Occupational Therapy Association Board in the role of Special Interest Section Coordinator and currently serves on the Executive Board as the Secretary. Dr. Douglas's favorite occupations include traveling, running, reading, dancing, hiking in the mountains, scuba diving in the ocean, and being the biggest cheerleader for her 2 kids. Thank you, Dr. Douglas. Next, we have Dr. Alicia Singh. Dr. Singh is an assistant professor and the pediatric specialist in the Wingate OTD program. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Therapeutic Recreation from Mars Hill University, a Master of Science in Occupational Therapy from Lenore Ryan University, and a post-professional doctorate in occupational therapy from Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions. Dr. Singh's professional experience has been the role of a lead public school-based therapist. She has experience working on multidisciplinary specialty teams, providing assistive technology and autism support. Dr. Singh has previous experience in academia as an instructor and academic fieldwork coordinator, as well as adjunct teaching experience locally and internationally. She currently serves on the North Carolina Occupational Therapy Association Board in the role of Special Interest Section Coordinator and has previously served in the roles of Pediatric Special Interest Section Co-Chair and Education and Research Special Interest Section Co-Chair. She volunteers with the National Board for Certification in Occupational Therapy as a pediatric subject matter expert. Dr. Singh has specialty certification to administer the assessment of motor process skills and is a certified autism specialist. Dr. Singh's favorite occupations outside of her career are spending time with her family, traveling, hiking, and camping. Thank you, Dr. Singh. Next, we have Dr. Wynette Sinclair. Dr. Sinclair is our geriatric rehab specialist. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Exercise and Sports Science and a Bachelor of Science degree in Occupational Therapy from Colorado State University. And she earned a post-professional Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree from Chatham University. She has a wide variety of clinical experience over her 20-plus years of practice, including acute care, inpatient rehab, skilled nursing facilities, home health, pediatrics, outpatient, and hand therapy. She has a passion for helping clients gain as much independence as possible and has focused on the adult and geriatric populations. She has also pursued special training and modalities such as kinesiotaping, pelvic floor, and dementia. With her pelvic floor knowledge and training, she has guest lectured at multiple universities as well as state conferences on occupational therapy's important role in treating the pelvic floor. She also enjoys incorporating holistic elements into therapy, such as aromatherapy and music. Dr. Sinclair is also one of the co-faculty members for COTAD. And I should have said that wasn't in Dr. Douglas's bio, but she is also a co-faculty sponsor for COTAD. COTAD is our Coalition for Occupational Therapy Advocates for Diversity. It's a student organization here in our program. Dr. Sinclair's favorite occupations, including spending time with her husband, 4 children, dogs, eating, and she put eating in bold letters, eating all types of food, traveling, jeeping, hiking, biking, swimming, skiing, and watching comedies. Thank you, Dr. Sinclair. Next, we have Dr. Daniela Hauser, who is our adult rehab specialist. Dr. Daniela Hauser is the adult rehab specialist in the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program. She graduated from the University of Scranton in Pennsylvania with a bachelor's degree in allied health science and a master's degree in occupational therapy. Dr. Hauser received her post-professional doctorate in occupational therapy from Mount Mary University in Wisconsin. Dr. Hauser relocated here from New Jersey, where she worked at Kessler Institute for Rehabilitation, the #2 ranked inpatient rehabilitation hospital in the country. She worked with patients with numerous diagnoses following trauma, illness, or injury, including stroke, multi-trauma, Parkinson's disease, fractures, and amputations. She also worked on a specialized unit for brain injuries. She has spent time training new therapists, working with fieldwork students, treating adult and geriatric clients, and running occupational therapy group treatment sessions. She has experience working in an acute care hospital, working with clients after surgeries and joint replacements. Dr. Hauser is passionate about helping clients participate in the occupations that they want and need to do to return home. Dr. Hauser also has an interest in the veteran population. She enjoys teaching students the hands-on skills and knowledge needed to be an occupational therapist. Dr. Hauser's favorite occupations include spending time with her family, watching her nearly one-year-old daughter learn new skills, cuddling with her cats and dog, cooking, and eating. There's a common theme here. We enjoy eating. I'm the last faculty member, so I'll read mine. It's just a little bit awkward. I earned a Bachelor of Science degree from the Medical University of South Carolina, a post-professional Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree with a concentration in Administration and Practice Management from Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions, and a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Leadership with a concentration in Education Administration from Piedmont International University. In April of 2019, I completed the AOTA Academic Leadership Institute. Over the course of 26 years, my professional experience has included acute care, mental health, home care, post-acute care, and long-term care before transitioning to a full-time practice in academia. I previously served as the program director and assistant professor of the post-professional occupational therapy doctorate program at Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions before joining Wingate University in 2017 as the founding program director and associate professor. I have a passion for leadership and scholarship, which have led me to roles such as president of the South Carolina Occupational Therapy Association, reviewer for several peer-refereed journals, advisory board member for a developing OT program, co-leader of the North Carolina Council for Occupational Therapy Education Leadership, member of several university committees, and I serve on the ACOTE roster of accreditation evaluators. I've also published and presented on the topics of leadership, the Kawa River theoretical model, veteran suicide prevention, critical reflection, interprofessional bias, faculty development, productivity, and student mental health. My favorite occupations are reading, relaxing on the beach, refinishing furniture, teaching, and collaborating with my awesome work team. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, and I have 3 children in their 20s. One of my daughters just became a licensed occupational therapist in May. Another daughter is finishing her occupational therapy doctorate in 2023, and my son just became a kindergarten teacher. So that is the faculty. We also have some amazing staff that support our program. Mrs. Natalie Clark was not able to be here today, but Natalie is the Director of Admissions for the Doctor of Occupational Therapy and the Doctor of Physical Therapy programs. Natalie earned a master's degree in counseling psychology from Bowie State University and has worked with the university for almost 7 years. Natalie's favorite occupations are spending time with family and friends, cooking, eating, reading, and watching basketball. Natalie is actually moving her daughter to college today. That's why she wasn't able to be with us. And last but definitely not least, we have Miss Kristina Kroger. She is our program assistant. Kristina earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Communications in May of 2019 from Wingate University. She has always had a passion for administrative work, and she finds great joy in helping people. Kristina started working for her alma mater in October of 2019 and says that she is learning so much about OT along the way. We think she's an honorary OT already. Her favorite occupations include working out, playing tennis, sleeping, and eating, of course. You'll have lots of opportunities to eat with the Wingate faculty and staff. So before our faculty sit down, what we wanted to do is share a few words of wisdom for you. So since I'm already here, I'll start, and then we'll pass the mic to everyone else. My advice for you over the next 3 years as you move throughout this program is to rely on your faculty and staff. So often students are intimidated by faculty and staff, or they're unsure, or they're afraid to ask a question because you think that we might think you're stupid. Listen, we want you to ask us questions. We want you to come see us. We want you to come in our office. If it's to get candy from Dr. Sinclair's office, that's where the good chocolate is. Or if you want to come and get a hug from Dr. Douglas, or if you want to come vent all of your life's problems to me, and usually those things happen and they come to me and vent and then go to Dr. Douglas for a big warm hug. We're all here to support you academically, personally, professionally. We want you to have a really strong 3 years and feel the support from us. So please reach out to us. We're here to help you. Who wants to go next?
All right. This is probably going to be the hardest 3 years of your life, but it'll also be the quickest 3 years of your life. So I guess my piece of advice would just be to remember to have fun along the way. It's so easy to get stuck in that mindset of study, 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 about exams are coming up, classes are overwhelming. But just put yourself first sometimes, because you need that. And take care of your mental health, schedule in time with your family and friends, and have fun.
Hi, welcome everyone. So my words of advice would be this. You are going to have an amazing 3 years here, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's also going to be hard. At times, it's not going to be without challenges. We wish we could tell you that. But I think I'm probably speaking to a large majority of you who may have be inclined to be a perfectionist and want to do it right all the time, and you shoot for those A's and you go for it and you give 100% and you expect 100% of yourself, and that's great and that's so admirable. But you will make mistakes, and so my bit of advice, as I speak from personal experience on this, is that number one, give yourself permission to make those mistakes. It's going to be okay, and you should. I mean, it's part of the lesson, right? And number two is be kind to yourself when you do. And when I use the word mistakes, I also insert any word, challenge, hard time. They're probably gonna come. We can almost guarantee that they are, but be kind to yourself and give yourself that grace when it does. And the third part of that is that when it does happen, embrace it, learn the lesson from it, and then move on.
Welcome, class of 2024. So my piece of advice to y'all is find your tribe amongst each other. And when you do, love them hard. You are surrounded, the bro tees are already looking at each other while I say that, I love that. But you are surrounded by 35 amazing individuals that chose to take that exact same journey you are on today and for the next 3 years. And really nobody but these 35 individuals can truly understand the uniqueness of this brand new doctorate program that you are entering. Some of y'all have moved to a new city, a new state. You are gonna have challenges, but you're gonna have so many successes. So enjoy experiencing that with your peers. I still remember my first week of my doctorate program. I found my tribe, and those 4 individuals, we still stay in contact constantly through, we have a little group me text message. And even when I was making the decision to move to North Carolina, they were like, you're gonna work with Dr. Sweetman, she's an amazing program director, definitely go for it. So I suggest throughout this time, lean on each other, build each other up through every day. There are gonna be lots of laughs that happen when you're studying late at night, and there will be some tears, and then after that, more laughter. So enjoy the ride, And my advice, once again, is find your tribe, and when you do, love them hard.
Hi, I have a little bit of practical advice. Whenever you're participating in the occupation of driving to and from campus, and if you are coming from Charlotte, and you'll notice there's like a 45 speed trap right before you get on the bypass or 74, make sure you go the speed limit through there. There's all those flashing signs and everything. But I think it's Officer Kinsey who pulls over many people all the time. So just watch your speed, especially in that area. That's my advice.
All right. We have decided to use someone else's words that we think say a lot to you. So this is an excerpt from Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away.
You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, you know what you know, and you are the one who decided where to go.
You'll look up and down streets, look them up with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street.
Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you.
And then things start to happen. Don't worry, don't stew. Go right along and you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go.
You'll be on your way up, you'll see great sights. You'll join high flyers who soar high heights.
You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest.
Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. But sadly, it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you.
I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you.
All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot.
And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on.
You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot from your left.
And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains.
So, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way.
So while they're sitting down, I'll explain what we're going to do next. On the back of your program, there is the Occupational Therapy Pledge and Creed. This pledge and creed was written in 1917 when our profession was brand new. The words are still from 1917. They have not been updated over the years. This is not something that we wrote. But this is a big step. Starting your doctoral program, your path to occupational therapy careers is really important. It's really very special. And as occupational therapists, we recite this pledge and creed when we take our practice exams. We sign that we pledged, our certification exams to begin practice. We sign that we pledge to hold to this creed. And so for the very first time as you enter your programs, I would like for all the students to stand together, and the faculty can stand as well, and if there are any other occupational therapy practitioners in the room, you may also stand and recite with us. I love to see somebody standing in the back. Okay, ready? Reverently and earnestly do I pledge my wholehearted service in aiding those crippled in mind and body, to this end that my work for the sick may be successful. I will ever strive for greater knowledge, skill, and understanding in the discharge of my duties in whatsoever position I may find myself. I solemnly declare that I will hold and keep inviolate whatever I may learn of the lives of the sick. I acknowledge the dignity of the cure of disease and the safeguarding of health, in which no act is menial or inglorious. I will walk in upright faithfulness and obedience to those under whose guidance I am to work, and I pray for patience, kindness, and strength in the holy ministry to broken minds and bodies. You may be seated. So now you are officially members of the Wingate University Occupational Therapy Doctorate Class of 2024. And we are so excited to be on this journey with you. So I just want to reiterate that your faculty and staff are here for you. We can't wait to get to know you and have these 3 years together. We'd like to invite everyone over to our department, to our facilities. We have just some very light refreshments and some cake. And we have some tours. Some of our Cohort 2 students are here. They can take you on a tour. Or you guys, now that you have access to our building, you're welcome to take your families on a tour and show them around the spaces where you'll be for the next 2 years. And on your way over to our department, if the students can please stop at the amphitheater, the stone seating that's outside in the yard outside of our building, we want to gather really quickly for a photo. We're going to make it fast because it's 200 degrees outside today. So thank you so much for joining, and I hope to get to meet you guys next door.